We'd like to close with a segment after the Monk song called Nutty. At 3 o'clock in the morning, on Mardi Gras night in Detroit, some nutty motherfucker in room 412 of the Forest Arms Apartments at 2nd and Forest set his room on fire and burnt himself up and all the worldly possessions of his fellow tenants, who would now have to start their lives all over. Well, he would go on to his grave and take their building down with him. This commodious home to countless thousands of students and artists and bohemians on their way into or out of the Motor City since the building was erected in 1904. Generation after generation of young Detroiters filled every apartment with energy and life and art. Like the 100 current residents who were turned out by the fire. And the poet himself, as a young man, fresh out of Flint, Michigan, in the spring of 1964, rented the basement apartment, number B2, on the other side of the Forest Arms, from where the Amsterdam Espresso and People's Record Shop would be some 40 years later. And where I met my first wife when she lived next door in the building on the corner of Prentice. This place where I learned how to write and lived with Alan Van Newkirk, poet and prophet of paleo-cybernetics, and then with Charles Moore, cornetist and philosopher, who taught me how to live the way I have lived for all the years since, exactly as I wanted to, and in exact conformance with the system of beliefs that came into being in that basement apartment in the Forest Arms and continues into the present moment. This life, which began for me when I met Lyman Woodard in the student union at Flint Junior College in 1961. This life of the mind and spirit, rooted in humanism and love of art and manifested in creative production and social engagement. Like Train said, to be a force for good and make an impact on the world at large with no promise of recompense or material reward beyond the joy of creation and the thrills of connectivity, the deep friendships formed with fellow seekers of many persuasions who follow the same path, sharing our visions and our love for each other, our humble possessions, and our commitment to personal freedom and social liberation, living and working outside the clenched domain of the white people and open to experience without prejudice, and to people of every sort of origin who have transcended the circumstances into which we were born and transformed ourselves in accordance with our beliefs to live the life we love and make a world for ourselves that can hold and carry us through the certain ugliness ahead. After the Forest Arms has burned up and Amsterdam Espresso has been ruined, and all of Brad Hale's thousands of LPs destroyed, and the building abandoned, and all the things we used to love about our country disfigured by greed and turned against us. This life we have made out of love and resistance. This life which exists in our hearts and minds wherever we may be. This life which is shared with our brothers and sisters wherever we may find them. This life we carry with us wherever we go. This is the life, dear friends. This is the life for me. Thank you and good night. Stop on,